Mr. Secretary, nice to see you. 30 years in this city, so congratulations. Thanks for the work you're doing. Just a few things I'd like to mention in your work of lowering drug costs, addressing pharmacy fees, CMS's announcement just yesterday, it'll be covering up to 8 at-home COVID tests for Medicare beneficiaries. Thank you for all of those things. There's a lot to like in your budget. I would like to pick one thing that I know you agree on. You were helpful in this in the House when you were there. Some time ago, 25 years ago, I think, no, well, more like 25 years ago, Akron Children's Hospital came to the House and asked that we begin something called Children's Hospital GME because they didn't have the dollars through Medicare reimbursement to fund children's hospitals the way that we should. It's clearly the best way to ensure the future of our pediatric provider workforce. It is the single best way to train pediatricians. You know that from your family. You know that from your work. The president's budget proposes $350 million for CHGME, a slight decrease in funding. We had included $375 in the omnibus just passed recently. Well, you work with me and Senator Casey on this committee has been a real leader in other champions here in Congress to make sure we go the right direction, not the wrong direction, since CHGME funding.
Absolutely, Senator. And remember that those numbers that we put out in the budget were based when we thought we would have based on the CR. And so we had to be realistic about where we could go, and the CR was way below what the omnibus is. So don't take those numbers so literally because they were based on what we knew at the time of the budget being prepared, not what ended up happening with the omnibus.
Thank you, and we will count on that because I know your history and I know your heart on this. Cincinnati is home to 2 CDC NIOSH facilities, National Institute of Occupational Safety and Health. 550 federal employees conduct cutting-edge research. It's not nearly as well known as it should be. It's really an institute. There is no facility in the world like this NIOSH facility where we really do learn so much through collection of data and study about occupational work injuries and occupational work illnesses. And it really is something I'm particularly proud in my state. HHS several years ago set aside $110 million to consolidate and upgrade the current NIOSH facilities into one building or one set of buildings on the University of Cincinnati, bordering the University of Cincinnati campus. Unfortunately, the Trump administration sidetracked it or worse. And we need to make sure that we move forward on this state of the art by any measure. Would share any update on this project today, if you would, to reassure the NIOSH workforce in the city of Cincinnati and workers around the country that this is going forward.
Senator, we're committed to it because there's no way that OSHA can do its work if NIOSH isn't operating properly. And NIOSH has a great responsibility to make sure we're getting real evidence, real data to OSHA so we can make sure that we're protecting workers against the occupational hazards that we know exist throughout the workplaces in America. So we're very committed to it.
Good. 2 other statements. One, I'd like you to come visit Cincinnati at some point during this,
Done.
And so you can see NIOSH in person. I
Absolutely.
appreciate that. And second, the president recently put out an executive order in support of the use of project labor agreements for large-scale construction projects like the Cincinnati project. It's my expectation that HHS or CDC as its proxy will support the use of a project labor agreement for the construction of this new facility. My staff will be working with your office, with folks at CDC. I'm looking forward to making sure this project, which is about workers, centers workers in its construction and what we need to do.
With you all the way.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, and very good to see you.
Thank you, Senator Brown. As always, sticking up for the consumer. Thank you.